Hello YouTubers out there, welcome back to Jordan YT, and today we're going to review the KREATOR KIT softbox kit, the KREATOR KIT softbox kit from Hypop. Now before I actually get into a review of these lights, let's go have a look at the unboxing.
Right, this would be a top-down overview, but problem is that a bit of a bigger box than usual. I know that need to be around. So here we go. Right, here we go. There's a generic remote. Here's the light, and ooh, batteries included. Hey, that's actually kind of happy. Rightio. So here's the KREATOR kit advertised from Hypop, and pretty much says exactly what it is, and then obviously you see the price. Now that's a bit steep for what you are paying for, and being that on the box it said by Vokwell, I got a little bit curious. So, and lo and behold, what do I find but a whole store on Amazon dedicated to Vokwell, and I believe this is actually Vokwell themselves, and I undoubtedly found my light. Yeah, so, have I been scalamity-dooed? I believe I have been scalamity-dooed very hard indeed. So, now here's the thing about this specific set. I believe, I'm 100% certain that these are the lights that pretty much, that are representing from the lights that I brought. However, in the description it says, I mean, in the images here they say that like, oh, it's changeable from the color temperature, adjustable color temperatures, but yeah, it doesn't really state here in the description. However, I found another product, like this has actually got like very similar range to the lights I've actually got, and very much similar to the actual, I wouldn't say similar, but like in terms of like build quality, they're looking a bit more structurally sound. I think you're getting a lot more. I think there's a little bit more building required, not so much as pop up, you're good to go. But other than that, like, I believe these probably would be a better value. Being that I paid, I'm a little bit salty. Now here's the thing, I would actually return these things. The problem is that with the shipping with COVID being around, it actually extended the return warranty, and I unfortunately cannot return them. So as much as I'd like to get my money back and, you know, probably buy directly from the reseller on Amazon and actually get what my money's worth. So being that now these, I actually see these at about $125, they are so worth it. So worth it. If I actually knew these were $125, I would have gone from Amazon instead. But for what I got for $125, yes, they are cheap lights. Yes, you could definitely get stuff that are better and high quality, but for 125 bucks, you cannot beat that. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna leave the Vokwell's description in below. You can more than likely find these in America if you're watching from overseas, but if you're an Australian customer or potentially a New Zealand customer, then I recommend going through directly through Vokwell themselves, because yeah, don't no Hypop, no stinky, you will not be seeing a returning customer.
Now as you can see, the before and after is definitely a big improvement. Right, so this is before. Now my camera is technically exposed for these lights when they're on. However, this is probably like the most scenario that I'd be rolling them. I'd be rolling with a probably close to 4000 ISO with my aperture open all the way, and with these blinds open as well to let light bounce in, and that's pretty much what I was doing before. However, now I have controllable lights. Absolutely fantastic. So it's a huge difference. Now, do I have a gripe with them as a yes, I do. It depends on your way of looking. So both of these lights are linked to one controller. You can't really point it at one and turn them individually, because once I go down to 50, as much as how much I point to one, both of them kind of respond to as the same. That's good if you want more of a simple, easy to do lighting setup. However, for me, the way I would like it, and I figured out how to do it, is that I want one light stronger than the other, being that one light is my key light and the other is my fill. So to do that, what painfully need to do is set both at 100%, then you need to turn off one light, wait for a little bit because then they're kind of like connected. It's weird how this actually works. Then we need to turn this to 50%. Now that's stuck at 50%. Then turn this back on. Then you gotta like cycle through a couple of times to actually get the color tone that you want. Oh dear. And now we are back at 100% on that light. How do we actually look? All right, yeah. That is looking way better. I've just pretty much like put up these lights. I haven't really angled them correctly as they are, just more so for demonstration purposes. And that light right there is at 100%. So other than that, it is a huge improvement to what we had going before. Now, of course, that is probably like the biggest downside that I find with these actual lights is that I can't really control them individually. However, if you're someone who wants either the same brightness from both lights, like if you're doing product reviews or product showcases or makeup, then these are probably the best ones to highlight your face a lot better. However, in typical film scenario, usually for interviews and talking heads, usually you always have your key light, which is your brightest light, and then your fill, which is usually either like a couple of stops down, as in a couple of brightness levels down, and then usually have a backlight, which will be coming in the mail shortly. But other than that, what do I think about these lights? These lights, for what they're worth, pretty decent. I'm actually kind of blown away. Now, in terms of quality control, I do have a few gripes. As in, the corner of the diffusion paper is poorly sewn. Not like it's gonna come off, but in terms of like of how these are actually sewn together, they've pretty much just kind of, they haven't really cut off the ends correctly and just kind of left like these kind of big little loopy loops, and doesn't really look good. And however, I think that's the only kind of like weird quality control, because you are buying like kind of the cheaper, budget-friendly softbox kit. The actual softboxes themselves are fantastic. The material on the inside is super reflective. There's no bulging of anything right there. The actual brackets are spread apart, really nice. They're metal. Of course, the actual the filament of where the light bulb goes onto is plastic. However, like, they're not going to break. They're going to take the strain from it. The light stands themselves, they've actually surprised me very well. Like, of course, it's more like kind of the cheapy light stands you'd still find. However, they've actually got a little bit more weight to them than what I found. And also, like, knobs are actually really decent and hard plastic. So I wouldn't say, these could definitely take a fair bit of weight. However, like, I probably wouldn't trust them fully. I'd probably put sandbags at them so stuff wouldn't tip over if you got heavier stuff on. So, however, like, these aren't the lights that are going to be like the be all and end all of all lights, because there are definitely better lights out there, that's for sure. These are more targeted for those who are just getting into lighting and trying to figure out how to actually do correct lighting and correct filling as well with lights, and also creating different images with their lighting. So this is a very good first step into that as well. However, for $345 in terms of the kit and for what you get and the flexibility with color, temperature, and brightness, because these have got a wide range of brightness levels. There's about 14 different brightness intensities for each light, and then there is 7 stops of Kelvin intensity for each light. So in terms of what you're getting for flexibility for your color range and the Kelvin spectrum, from what I can tell, these lights are definitely a must first step if you're getting into lighting, and if you want better lights and your window's not really doing well or your torch isn't really going well and you want better like soft boxes, then I really cannot really complain. So, because these will always be a good first step, and I suppose an always backup, because in the future I'll definitely see myself upgrading to more either better lights with a higher CRI and probably different color intensities, and possibly the all new rage about RGB lights coming in for lighting scenarios. So other than that, I must say that these lights are a really good first step into whole lighting yourself and lighting subjects. Now, do I recommend these? If you are looking to upgrade your softboxes from your current ones, let's say if you brought a cheaper one, I'd probably say no. Save your money for probably a little bit more on-brandy stuff, because then you'll probably get a lot more run out of it. Because for your cheap lights that you do have, you could probably use them for, even no that heck, once you get like your 2 more proper lights, you could probably even use one of these as a backlight. However, if you don't have a single light setup whatsoever, like, you know, using your window for light or using different torches for fill and all the rest of it, this is definitely a good first step because it seriously helps. Don't get me wrong, you can get a lot done with the window. It is fantastic, but there will be days where it's either going to be dark and sunny, or you might be filming in the middle of the night where you're not going to get as much light. So these are definitely a first step into that. So I'll be leaving a link down in the description below to where I actually brought these lights. Check them out if you want. I'm not affiliated whatsoever, and definitely not. It's more so just if you would like to check them out yourself, please go ahead and go for that. But other than that, these are a definite great addition to my whole YouTube setup, and we'll be using these into the future. Other than that, that calls it for the end of today's video. Hope to see you in the next one. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the links and annotations for more videos that I've done. Like, comment, and subscribe today. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!